Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 78 of On the Backs of Gods. I am your DM, Jillian, and we have our players today. Same as always, we have Kyle, Mac, Josh, Abby, and Christo. Hopefully one day our cleric will join us again, but you know, the world is a busy place, and you guys will have to wait, I suppose, to hear about the missive he received from his goddesses. Keep that
I'm excited
suspenseful.
to hear about that. I'm very excited to hear about that.
I refuse to be the one who says it.
That's fair.
But anywho,
It's his moment.
Oh yeah, I want him to have a good time with it. But that's okay because we're also playing a game of bingo at the same time. D&D and bingo. Every character has a sheet that has little bingo squares on it with things they can accomplish. Such as for Saga, there was just one that says try milk again. And she tried milk again and she ended up getting a bingo. So
she done did it.
That's currently what the players are trying to do. So if you ever hear a moment where somebody just shouts out bingo or is like doing something maybe way off the beaten path, either it's their personal choice or they want those sweet items that I'm offering up for bingos. Calm down. Sorry, there's cats everywhere. Anywho, I'm going to jump into the thing. I'm going to tell you about what happened last time and we're going to get into it, boys. So last time, the party, you're still in town, the town where you did a drug deal, ransacked a temple, and infested a very fancy inn with mice and stole their recipe book. And somehow got away with it for now. But you all wake up the next morning after Gorbjorn has a strange dream where he feels he is being hunted and is just presented with a much more rambunctious goat. The party convenes and decides they are going to split. Tordrick would like to go to the temple because he is worried about the thievery he heard about. But with good rolls from Saga, he is convinced to leave town with half of the party instead. So Gorbjorn, Saga, Tordrick, Ptolemaeus, Hercules, that's the team. They all decide to leave town because half of them are wanted criminals and have a goat that they are trying to keep alive in a bag of holding and just occasionally pulling its head out and hoping for the best. The rest of the party stays in town to kind of finish up some loose ends and go to a demonstration in the middle of town. You meet up again with Ember, who had sent you to pick up the recipe book, which she wanted for a banana bread recipe that she wanted to try again, but couldn't because they wouldn't let her in. You end up getting a side mission from her where she asks you to acquire some very, very deadly oysters. And you guys are like, yeah, sure, fine. That's not weird or scary. But you part ways. You check in on the temple where you see that the uproar symbol has been blazoned in ice on the inside, marking this as the work of her disciples, which it was. Feeling a little bad, some of the party gives some coin to the temple, and it's like, wow, I hope everything works out. Those members of the party end up going to the event in the square where this man is able to prevent corruption and control it. You meet some old friends there who seem very excited to, see the demonstration. And you watch as there are multiple guards, many Jarlsmen, many people who follow this man on stage. And eventually you are presented with Bosch, showing off his fancy new skills. He asks for a volunteer. Nana boldly goes up when no one else would raise their hand, beating Sunny to it by a second. He tells her no harm will fall to her and to just trust him. And she does. A corrupted human is lured towards them, and Nana watches with Bosch's remaining arm over her shoulder and stops it near inches from his hand. No magic is seen, no words are murmured, no items appear to be hidden in his sleeve. There is just Bosch. And he pulls the corruption from the person's body and places it into the ground where a large tree blooms, white wood, purple leaves, and disappears from behind it. During this time, Roshan is hurriedly chasing the shadow who feels that something important is there in the opposite direction. They are presented with an old woman cloaked in magic who looks at them for a moment and quickly vanishes, getting away from the situation, saddening Roshan and the shadow, who both promise to do better. Nothing bad befalls Nana. The crowd stands in awe. Bosch ends up getting audience with the chief of that town. And after Fen talks to Alvilda, the elf that they had met earlier, who seems very emotionally moved by the demonstration, refuses to come with you as a party and tells you briefly of the waterfall where your mother was said to go. She says that she believes it's within the woods of Eden in the forest, and that's where pretty things go to die, basically. And that is her version of that, and stands to stare at this magnificent tree. The rest of you make your way out of town and can almost take a breath for the first time in a hot second as you step outside of the borders. And that's where we're going to pick up. I would love to talk to some people. I'd love to talk to Team Left Town first. You have traveled now for close to 4 hours. I'd like to know how much further you plan on going, or what is the game plan for Team Went First? No commentary from Team Second.
I was thinking we would kind of make a little temple at the river and just wait here.
Yeah, I mean, I was probably just going to, I just had a very emotional conversation with the uproar, so I probably want to just sit with that for a little bit and distract myself. So if I'm guessing Tordrick would be super into building a temple, and that's a very good distraction. So probably, yeah, move around some rocks and stuff.
Tordrick seems very excited by this idea. There's a little bit of a pep in his step. You could tell that he was bothered deeply by what happened to the temple. You could see that very much upset him, and he was sad that he couldn't stay to help. But reinvigorated by the dip in the stream and talking to his goddess, is happy to start creating something with you guys. Is there something you wanted to do in particular? Is there a spell, or is there a look, an object, an item? Are we going to go chop down a tree? What are we doing?
Just want to know vaguely.
Just one of those those little rock towers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have mold earth. I'd probably just use that to try to gather up as many rocks out of the water as we can, and try to make, I mean, all of our gods and goddesses, no matter which ones we decide to go with, are going to be some, like, lovely ladies, so probably just making a lot of, like, very curvy-looking rock statues.
Ooh. This is the sexiest little temple on the side of the road. Tordrick is very pleased and seemed to miss your encounter as he was face down in the stream during it. So really isn't aware of what you both did, having your conversation with the uproar and taking some time, your goat now living out its life on a farm somewhere. You all build a temple to whoever you may be worshiping at this time, or an honor. Mostly ladies.
Yes.
There is no other option. If y'all caught on, there's no other option. No. But you all stay there and decide to wait for your friends in this spot. Team just left town. I'd love to know what you guys are doing, or if it is just a fast-paced walk quietly down the road, or what would you guys like to do? Because you do not have horses or nothing.
Just power walk into the new temple.
I think that as Nana is resolved to only talk about what happened in the demonstration once. She doesn't want to hash that out more than one time. She's going to focus outward and check in on Fen and Roshan. How are they looking?
Are you asking to roll insight on your friends? Just are you taking a glance and taking them in?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Nana's more in her head than I thought. That is a natural one.
Oh,
Hmm.
it is. They are stone walls to you. It is. There's nothing to see here. You can't glean anything. You don't know
Nana
if
does
you're
not
projecting.
feel better about that, but what are you gonna do?
But there's nothing she can do as she glances over and tries to see if everybody else is okay or if they're in a similar state as her. But it is just a long, quiet walk of everybody sort of taking in and I think digesting their situation for 4 hours.
Nana,
Gee.
Nana,
Yes.
that was very brave of you, but somehow Roshan looks even worse than you, and he wasn't on that.
Roshan looks
Thanks.
fine. He rolled a 24 deception.
You have to roll insight for that, baby.
Oh, I'm gonna roll the insight.
Go, please do.
Go for it then.
I can't meet a 24, but I might be able to get something.
Oh, if you can't reach your 24, you might be getting close.
It's 12.
Roshan looks the best.
All right.
He looks fine. Sparkles and everything.
Dude's chill. He's like
Everyone's quiet,
Yeah,
and
it's fine.
we don't want to talk about it.
yeah. Everybody sort of bubbles off for a bit. And I'm going to say that is just 4 hours for all of you to kind of take in yourselves.
Yeah, kind of
And-
just marinate in that.
As the sun starts to get a little low in the sky, the rest of the party already picked a spot out next to a cute little temple by a stream. And you all meet back up again. The team reunited by a cute little temple. Food is made, fires are lit. Is there anything you guys would like to do or talk about?
It's Big 10-4, good buddy, but if anybody else wanted to take the reins first.
Everybody's like, no, nothing happened. Go ahead.
How's the guard presentation?
Well, finally got some concrete evidence on that.
Huh?
The god is Bosch,
Oh,
without a doubt. Nana will proceed to describe back to the party in as exact a detail as she can manage her interaction with Bosch, what he said to her, and what she saw from her viewpoint on the stage.
Okay. Nana talks of the brief, very public encounter about how it is, as the story said, stops corruption without even touching them, not a spell uttered. And Bosch seems very sure of himself and what he is doing. Enough so to do it inches from your face.
And hearing that Bosch is still alive and running free and getting to talk with Gorbjorn's just gonna like separate himself, go towards some trees, and then rage and start breaking the trees down. But as he does that, like the trees start to like decay a bit with like necrotic energy.
Ooh,
What?
very cool.
That's because of his wild
wild
surge.
surge.
When you
Oh.
rage, all the negative feelings inside of you just rush from your hands to your weapon, and eyes glazed over in anger, you just chop and wither these trees. And with your weapon in particular, these trees stand nary a chance against you.
Oh yeah.
Funny enough, that's how I felt on the inside.
Visual representation.
I think Saga just scoots up beside Nana and kind of just sits beside her and puts her head on your shoulder and just kind of sits.
Nana will
Pretty
kind
quiet.
of half-heartedly wrap an arm around Saga's back and just kind of... He thanked me. Whatever we did in the West made it all possible for him.
Whatever we did, meaning
Ave's
Ave's.
ritual, yes.
Surely Ave didn't mean to... Go ahead, Roshan.
I just wanted to say that I've prepared a message for Valder. It sounds like they've got a chief and perhaps the Jarlsman on their side here, so as soon as we can get this information back, the sooner they can do something about it. So does anyone have anything pertinent they need to add to this message before?
I don't think we should kill him outright. If you would have asked me yesterday, I thought we should take any opportunity that we had to just end Bosch forever, like we should have done the first time. But he certainly seems to be on to something. I don't know if what he said can be trusted, but he said that corpse could be put into the ground safely and would not corrupt again.
He said.
That's what he said. And if that's actually an attainable goal, then we need to learn something from him before we kill him. He's terrible. He's evil. He would have killed anyone to build his power. He was doing that. He needs to be killed. He should have been killed before. But if he's come across some sort of knowledge that can allow us to return our dead to the earth like they are meant to be, instead of burning them.
My only fear is that he wants our god down. He wants all of the East's god down. So more people will bury their dead. So they will feed the corruption, so it will grow.
I don't doubt you, but if he possesses the power in order to make it so that we can consign our dead to the earth with no ulterior motive other than to give them a rest that returns them to the soil, and that power can be harnessed and put in the hands of someone that are priests and clerics and holy people, and we don't have to burn our dead, at least not those that don't want to be. I don't want to be burned. If I can be returned to the soil when I die, that's what I would choose. I know that's what some of my loved ones would choose. This wasn't always the way. We've been told from legend that at least elves used to bury. That if we can learn what he's doing, and if there's some good way we can apply it, if there's a way to apply it for good, rather than whatever his motives are, which I can only assume are corrupt and horrible, then we need to get that out. We need to get that out of him before we kill him. And having the West lead armies to recapture him might not be the best approach. That's my. I haven't.
I was actually going to ask Valder for some advice rather than tell him we were going to go kill him, because I agree. I don't think going to kill him is going to do anything but vilify us in the eyes of the East at this point. So this is above our heads, so he should just know.
And there's the matter of the spreading corruption. It seems whatever Ave had us do, either we did it wrong or it was always Ave's intention. But if we need to do it again to push it to the ends of the earth and off of the earth over and over again, maybe that's what we need to do. Saga, it sounded like you had something to add.
Well, I think we're all in agreement about Bosch, but I'm sure you're probably already going to say something about this, Roshan, but I make sure he knows he has the will of the people behind him. I'm sure that they would defend him against people calling him evil It's pretty powerful having town around you.
There's a
To
loud
support you.
cracking sound as a tree falls and wilts in the distance, as Gorbjorn continues on this rage.
What if we could somehow learn what this method is that Bosch is using? What if we could learn if it is possible from some other source? Roshan, do you know if, I don't know, maybe Dagwood would know anything of such things, or Egil? Any of his contacts?
I can reach out to both of them, but there's not even myth of this power. It's not. I think it's something new.
I think our best source of information is Bosch. I think it's the only way, just to question him. I don't think we're going to be able to work around this problem.
Roshan will step aside and send a message to Rangvalder
Okay.
that says, Valder, can confirm Bosch is in the east, going by the guard. He's got the backing of at least one chief. How should we proceed?
Okay. You all watch as Roshan goes off to the side, and he has to like murmur the message under his breath. So it is like if somebody was like leaning in, like, what you talking about? They could hear it, but mumbles softly this, and there's a bit of a delay. Thank you, Roshan. Do not engage. That's all the message says.
You could have been like, hey, also say hi to Nana for me, but you
I
had
didn't.
like 15 more words.
You might not know that.
Yeah, it's not his spell. He might not know how many words he has.
He's like, I'm good.
I said what I had to say in regards to the thing I was asked.
Tell Nana I said sup.
I mean, it's not like Nana jumped in there to say hi to Valder for me on this very important life or death message.
Hi, this horrible thing's happening. But your fiance, she says hi.
It's fine. Nana's been sending letters.
Yeah, you sent your message. Is there any other messages you'd like to send?
It's later in the evening, right?
Yeah, it's the sun is at this moment setting, so
Okay,
it is late.
I will send one to Dagwood and inquire in 25 words or less about the power to control corruption, if she's ever heard of anything like that.
Okay. I think that's a pretty concise sentence at the end of that. You hear it, just a sound of inquiry.
One moment.
Honestly, I couldn't say, though I'm about to be in trouble for talking. So you have a good time. Oh, yes, they're very upset. And the end of that.
What's happening with that one?
She had a funeral? What? Like giving the eulogy, and she's like,
I was
this
thinking
is
she
going
was
to go poorly. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Like in a library or something.
This librarian's pissed.
Well, she's playing hide and seek.
That's what you receive, Rashawn.
Wow, great. Love that. Maybe I'll catch up with her again tomorrow and just be like, what?
Okay.
Please reiterate.
Roshan, do you have any more of those messages today?
I can do it one more time, and that's all.
Well, I had, I think that Froggy said he was coming by this way. I don't know if he would know anything about it.
Any of
But
us?
he is a god, so might be around here. Maybe we could talk to him about it.
Sure. He'll use his last third level slot to reach out to Bragi.
Tell him I say hi.
Sitting like real close.
Saga says hello. We're about 4 hours south of Noansicht. Are you in the area and have any idea about controlling corruption?
Just a simple
Shrug
question at the
emoji. You put this out, and there's usually sort of an extension of the words that you yourself can hear as they leave you. And you feel those nipped in the bud instantly. You're being blocked.
Oh, great.
You cannot reach Bragi.
I cannot reach Bragi. Maybe he just wants his privacy.
And only hope.
I'm going to come back from chopping woods, as I assume this has been like several minutes.
Yeah.
And
What would the odds be of him being stuck in another god-proof dungeon of some kind?
What a terrible nightmare.
It would be awful.
working on trees, I remembered something. You say Bragi could control the dead or the corruption?
Bosch, not Bragi.
Sorry.
Goes back to the
That's
tree.
all right.
I will say.
Now I feel like an idiot. I need to go and rage.
Oh,
against the trees
no,
I
again.
will say from Gorbjorn's perspective, he has watched Bragi re-illuminate the runes on the spine of Odin, so that could be interpreted a similar way.
Oh, I was gonna reference how that ghost said people used to control it all the time, and I was just like,
true.
maybe there's something in the
It could be true.
In the blood?
in the valley that
It's very
Bosch could
possible.
have ran into.
I'm just like, this is neat.
Roshan's fighting very hard to keep it to himself, but his main thought on this whole subject is, not my problem, I'm gonna go home.
My house is so spiffy and not full of corruption right now.
It's wonderful, it's great.
So I was just trying not
It's
to
very
panic
nice
about the
place.
fact that Broggy's you can't talk to him. I don't know what's wrong.
Now Nana's kind of like putting an arm around Saga and giving her a little pat on the shoulder. It's all right. I'm sure he's just probably resting. Needs to keep his privacy.
Taking a nap.
Probably, yeah, just taking a nap.
Oh, the
can
messengers
try
don't go when you
and-
take naps? Okay. Yeah, okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
Sorry.
I'm not a magic worker, but
Yeah.
we can always try again, right? And you've been sending him letters as well, yes?
Yeah. He is answering those ones. I'm gonna go take a nap, actually.
That's a
Probably for like 8 hours. I'll be back.
all right.
Sleep for 8 hours right
Have a good
here
8-hour
in
nap.
this bubble. I'll be over here.
I just, yeah.
I'm just gonna take a nap. Don't worry about it, guys. I'm assuming that you guys are going to bubble because that seems like what you do when you are on the road.
That seems safe.
I'm assuming. Are you guys going to do watch? Do you see it to be necessary?
Well,
Nana's
Roshan
definitely
can
going
now
to
take all of the watches.
Oh,
Are you
can
going
he?
to inform your friends you can do that?
I don't think Roshan really understands that he can do that. So no, but he will stay up all night.
Okay.
Nana
Saga
will at
can
least
wake
stay
up-
up for the first one.
Yeah, Saga can take the last one because she's gonna conk out early and wake up early. So
Yeah, Finn will take 4-hour meditation right off the bat and then be up the rest of the night.
Easy enough for you guys to take watches. You're a very large group. People sleep the snow continues to fall and starts to coat the top of the bubble. A
We need to
reoccurring
come up with
theme
something
now.
else.
But Roshan, you see no need to rest, and it's almost kind of hard to catch you because the one person goes and lays down. It's just Fen who's just looking at you for multiple of them, like, okay. Fen's the only person who would really notice specifically that you were up for a good chunk of the watches.
And has no idea that he hasn't slept the previous 2 nights either. So,
Just the one.
You what?
okay, well, yeah. So
now,
Fen might notice if it happens again, but he doesn't notice at this point.
okay. The night passes uneventfully. Yes, Yaga.
I just wanna in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be awake. I'm guessing Roshan is awake.
Yeah.
Oh, we're both taking watch together. Yeah, yo. Hi, hey Roshan, can I talk to you for a second?
Of course.
I think I need to talk about a couple things, but first thing is I have this necklace, obviously, and I kind of don't like it, because I've been a little impulsive, I think, with it, and sometimes I want to use it to make something go well, and it makes things go bad. As to balancing it out, and I don't know when is the right time to use it. And you're like the smartest person I've ever spoken to ever, so I think that maybe you'd know how to use it better than I can. Would you want to try to use it?
I suppose. Thank you. That's a very nice compliment.
On that note of you being very smart, I have a big decision that I'm going to be making soon, and I can't decide which one to go with. Well, kind of can't, but kind of, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Have you
You
tried
too.
making a pro-con list?
What's that?
Never mind. Let's just talk it out.
Okay. So, you know Lady Seder. So she, I think she took all of my memories from me. And I
Oh.
noted, and she gave me, tiny little bit of a memory. And it was quite nice. And I'd like to know more about it. I'm quite curious. But she said she wouldn't give it back. But then, you know, the uproar, we've been talking to the uproar lately, me and Gorbjorn. And she said she would give it back. But I have to stop being with Lady Seder. Uh-oh, my camera stopped.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I was like, spooky.
Somebody put Vaseline on the screen.
It's fine. I'll fix it. But I said all I needed to say.
Well, have you considered whether or not you want all of your memories back? I understand that perhaps it feels like something missing, but is there perhaps something you don't want back?
I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know why she took them in the first place. I suppose there's gotta be a reason. Maybe I asked her to? I don't know. Maybe she took them maybe I gave them up for something? I'm not sure. I don't know why. She didn't explain it, I don't think. It just seems like I should take them back, because then I would know more things.
I understand how that could feel frustrating. There are some things that I wish I could live without, but I think I'd be just like you and find those holes in my life and seek to to fill them with the truth. So it's probably not very helpful, but I fully support you either way.
Well, not really. But I guess, you're on a quest looking for somebody. And I think that's really nice. That you care so much. Come all the way out here, and it's pretty dangerous.
Mhm.
It's like the thing that it felt so nice, and it's just like there must have been people. I must have known people.
Mhm.
What if I forgot about somebody that I really cared about, and they're out looking for me, and I need to go just like you. Like, what if they're looking for me?
On the same note, what if something like Nira happened to you, where she got old but followed Lady Sator's prophecies and then was rejuvenated, only to go follow more prophecies? And what if what she took from you was memories of a previous life, memories of people that aren't there anymore?
I never considered that. I don't know. I don't know how old I am.
It's an interesting thing to think about. But I can tell you that I'd probably seek to restore my own memories. But I would definitely understand not wanting to.
I think I just have a lot more thinking to do, but I think that clarified some things for me, actually. Well, gave me more to think about, I guess, in one way, but now I know what to think about. I think I might need to talk to more people about it.
Well, thank you for coming to me. I hope whatever path you choose, it makes you happy.
Thank you. I mean, I'm pretty happy usually, so I think it'll be
Happier.
alright. Yeah. I'm gonna go, walk around in circles, maybe. Bye.
Okay. Enjoy your morning.
My favorite mental image about this is I just picture Fen directly outside the bubble with one of his rakes, trying to knock snow off the top of the bubble through this whole conversation. So he can't hear it, but he's just knocking snow off the top as best he can, just blurred in the background. Just what I see in my mind's eye. And then Saga
I'm
goes
sure
for a
he doesn't
walk.
want all of us getting snow dumped on us again.
Well, yeah, he learned his lesson last time. He kind of
Yeah, I got in
blamed
trouble
for it
last
last
time.
time. He's not going to let it happen again.
Bruh.
But the morning comes, Gorbjorn. That same sensation, and this time you're not propped up against a door, you're laying on your bedroll and you're stuck. You can see members of the party sort of blurred in your periphery, unable to move, and just this looming darkness and the sensation that something is moving closer. And this time it feels closer. And you are you blink, and then the sun is out. You're awake. You're back with the group. You look around. Ptolemaeus and Tordrek have started up a conversation, and you see he has pulled out his bag of diamonds and is beginning to talk to Tordrek and take some out. He's like, I was able to go to a jeweler to understand how much gold, and starts to go through, and he's like, I feel like charging full price for you all not dying seems rude. He's just a little uncomfortable. I am not going to do the math of this now. Probably Gorbjorn Moneybags is going to have to be part of this conversation, but
Gorbjorn Moneybags.
I still
at
have
a
to count.
very good price, you guys now have enough diamonds for 1 revivify. And Tordrick takes the very small amount of tiny diamonds in his hands, like, ooh, and then puts them into his bag. The bubble dissipates. You're hit with less snow than last time, but getting rid of all of it was near impossible.
I can understand that.
Breakfast is had. Mild chit chat. Very cold as the snow continues to come down. You all get up and continue forward. Nothing holding you back.
Cool.
Sorry, everybody's fighting in the hallway. And by everybody, I mean cats, just to clarify for anybody who's
I
like,
was
oh no.
concerned for a moment.
Jillian's
now-
running a fight club in her hallway.
I'm just like, guys,
Oh,
I'm
no.
streaming. Keep it down. First rule of Fight Club, don't scream while I'm streaming.
Obviously.
Those are the only rules I have. You all get up, diamonds in hand, conversation had, feeling more or less sure of what choice she will make. But you all continue forward. The next town you are heading towards is Havalacer, which is also referred to as the Sea's Light. This is the town that sort of comes before the lighthouse. And basically, if you go through this town and then a wee bit past, you will be there. It's going to take you, because you stopped halfway, you will arrive in the town the following day afternoonish.
Okay.
As you all push forward, riding your cart, your unicorn following in tow, along with the hot air balloon you drag behind you. You are a sight to see.
Motley crew indeed.
I'm going to tell you, I'm just going to be a little on the nose about this. Uneventful day. And possibly an uneventful tomorrow, but I'd love to know if there are things that you guys needed to accomplish.
I need to count my spoils from the temple.
Oh,
That is
boy.
correct. Just in the back of the cart.
Are you going to do that in front of Tordrick?
I'm not gonna take out any of the obvious magical items, but I'm just gonna be putting out coins. and
Yeah, you
then-
move around money all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
count
counts
money
coin
for
all
fun.
the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. That's how he practices his numbers. It's fine.
Okay.
I can only count to 10, and then I just have to start over.
There's just little piles of 10. He's like, I got at least 10 10s over here.
Don't know how many that is, but it's a lot.
Neat.
If I lose a finger, I'm doomed. Nine.
What do I do?
Oh no.
You start counting. Easy enough. Hercules just sort of watches you with those blank mouse eyes. Those big blank mouse eyes. Ptolemaeus also counting gold because he just received gold and is trying to figure out how much he has from his transaction earlier. So it's just kind of like a little bank in the back of the truck. Let's see. You receive, in light of the episode, 78 gold pieces.
Oh.
59 silver pieces.
Jesus.
And drum roll, please. 10 copper.
Woo!
Woo!
Striking
Some
it big,
people
boys.
feel like they can't just give copper as their offerings to God, or they put it on the bottom and it was easier to get the ones on top. but not a terrible haul, including many other good items, but probably more noticeable things. Anything else for this trek? I'm going to just extend it to the trek in general.
Roshan wanted to check back in with Dagwood to
Sure.
see if everything's all right.
Sure. Go ahead. What would you like to say?
Can I just get a recap of her stream of consciousness from the last one?
I believe she said something along the lines of, like, this is going to be difficult. They're going to be very mad at me. Oh, they're mad at me.
Was there something about not supposed to be talking?
Yeah, something like that, vaguely.
Oh yeah, about to be in trouble for talking.
Yeah.
What?
So
not in timeout anymore?
Roshan says, so do you know anything about controlling corruption? Also, are you okay? Do you need any help?
I'll try to go fast. It seems like you're just trying to get me in trouble now. I know some things, very minimal. I've read a lot of books. Calm down. I've been kidnapped, but it's really not an issue. That's the end of the conversation.
Okay. Then after that, Roshan would reach out to Egil and say, do you know anything about a kidnapped person named Dagwood from Arentoft?
Hoyga Cliff.
Hoy-
He is not from Hoyger.
one that we
he's
keep
from
making.
Arentoft.
She is from
Arentoft,
Merriment.
yeah.
Okay, never mind. I lied.
Bosch is from Hoyger. Well,
That's
set
right.
in Hoyger Cliff.
Yeah.
That's why I remembered it.
That's why it sticks with me. Definitely that.
Called
Definitely
out.
not the repeated manglings of the pronunciation that we committed.
No, you've all said it perfectly. There's never been an error with the name. You send this message to, I'm sorry, the train of thought has fully left me. Who did
Egil.
you just? Egil,
Egil.
thank you.
Gil, yeah.
That seems to be the start of a lot of replies from your very out of the blue questions that you've sent to a lot of people. I currently do not know about that, but if you ask nicely, I can look into it. I know that it would cost a spell slot. You could just ping or something. That's fine. It gets cut off somewhere right at the end of that.
He will not ping since Dagwood seemed not worried about it, but before the end of the day, yeah, never mind.
Okay.
Another day he'll reach out.
Yes, Nana.
If there's any indication from Roshan that he's sending these correspondences, which I'm assuming usually require like the mumbling under the breath, in order to send that message.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Nana would like to kind of touch base with him real quick. You were following up with someone?
Dagwood got herself kidnapped, but she doesn't seem worried.
She
So-
what? She, well, I
Yeah,
suppose
her-
a sorcerer as strong as her.
Her kidnappers seem to not like it when she talks or mumbles. But she doesn't seem worried, so bigger fish to fry at this moment. Also,
I guess we're a whole continent away.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh God. Okay. Well, fair, I guess. Keep me posted, I suppose, if you happen to hear if she's unkidnapped herself at any point.
will do. Don't know how to unkidnap yourself, but perhaps she will.
It's
private,
like the news where you're just so annoying that the kidnappers just like push you out of the car and they're like, leave.
Go
Stop
away.
talking about that big snake.
That or you just break the chains.
Isn't that basically what we did with us when we broke out of our
Yeah.
kidnapping? We were just
Basically.
super annoying and blew up the car.
Yeah.
And then we killed them all. Except for
Yeah.
one.
These are choices.
Yeah.
These were
Anything
choices.
else for this like 2-day trek?
Fenn's just working with Jenny on the way.
I'm
Yeah.
making
Hmm?
I'm making clothes for my horse.
Hell yeah. It's a big outfit, it'll take some time, but yes, Gorbjorn.
I was hoping I was like during the shifts, Roshan seems to be staying up or like participating for them. I would
Mhm.
like to see if he could help me with these magical items.
Ooh.
Sure.
Oh,
One
of
the knights.
course. I'd
Oh,
be happy to
God.
show off my new spell, Identify.
Oh, we have a thing.
Flipping through this book. Sorry, I have to go back pretty far in my notes now to get to some of these items. And that is the temple. There we go. So casually inches over to you. Gorbjorn, what do you present to Roshan?
First I wanted to do the little pouch thing that I switched off with Saga.
So are you gonna get it back from Saga?
If she's sleeping, I'll just steal it back.
Yeah. You just go to her bag and pick it up. You're like, anywho.
This is mine.
Yes, I mumble some words for 10 minutes and inspiration comes to me. Actually, if the DM will let me flavor it, so I will.
I would love it.
I will set it on the book, and the course of the Identify spell will start filling a new page with the intimate details of this item.
That's so rad. I love that.
This is awesome. That is a good flavor.
Gorbjorn, if we're starting there, could you roll me, if you'd be so kind, 3d4?
3d4.
Ominous.
I know. Also, the d4s are.
I
like
hate
the-
this.
my-
You all take.
Oh no!
Okay.
So much psychic
So
damage.
I got 6.
Okay, let me make a note of that here. You begin to cast Identify, the information moving down onto the paper of the book below you. And it's almost like you could see the shadow's hand filling out the information in this place. And then kind of a quirk to the eyebrow. You open the bag, and inside are 6 dry beans. That is all that consists in this bag. You
Are they
currently
magic beans?
have a bag of beans. You would know that there is a couple ways to use said bean. One way is to throw said bean or just casually drop it on the floor and it do what explode. Or you can bury it and something else will happen, something undetermined. But you have 6 of them.
What if eat?
You are certainly welcome to try.
I
no.
may do that in the future,
Hell
but
yeah!
Oh
Hell
God,
yeah.
no.
Last
Like
one, here we
even
go, boys.
mundane beans can be like very deadly if you eat them
Yeah.
uncooked.
Tordrek, just take out your diamonds. Watch this shit.
Oh my god!
hey, I can come back with 1 HP.
Yeah.
That's very true.
This thing's full of ricin. I get 1 HP back.
Gorbjorn's
You can
officially our
try to
taste
poison
tester.
me to death or explode me from the inside.
And then
You
I
have
want to
a
take
bag
out
of
the
beans.
cape because that seems not as conspicuous.
Yeah, you take out this cape and lay it before Roshan. Roshan, very easy. You know where all this came from. That is not a mystery.
Mm.
That is not part of this mystery. You take the time. I'm assuming you're ritual casting.
Yeah.
Okay. So you take a moment. and the information begins to flow into the book. You are looking at Njord's cloak. This gives you a +1 to your AC and all saving throws. It can
Fine.
be worn with armor or without.
And then I'm gonna about to take out the crown, and I look at Roshan. It's like, you can't tell Tordrick I have these. And then I'm gonna pull out the crown and and then just lay it in front of his book.
Roshan will mime zipping his mouth shut, even though there are no zippers.
Even though we're all current. Today is when
So?
zippers were invented.
Yeah,
Sewing would be more thematically
Makes a
appropriate
note
for the
later.
Norse anyway.
This is pretty good.
Zippers.
You look at the crown. Yeah, you promise not to say anything. And then you take some more time to identify this crown. Very aptly named as well. This is the crown of Njord. It's weird getting to say like magic items and their abilities out loud now, because I'm just like, it's a secret forever. This crown gives you resistance to psychic damage. You get charges of a bardic inspiration, and you have advantage against charming abilities.
God, I just want to wear this all the time.
I am going to be so cool.
So resistance to psychic, advantage against charms, and then I have a bardic inspiration
You have 3 charges of bardic inspiration
that I can give to people, or
Yes.
only for myself.
You can give to people within 60 feet.
Got you.
What level?
I would
Is it
say
a D6 or?
some basic bard bullshit, just itty bitty baby bard. But I will double check.
Okay.
Got you. All right, but I'm not putting any of those on. I'll put them back in my bag, and then I will hand Roshan. That's a lot. I'm gonna hand you 100 gold, Roshan.
For your services.
Roshan will say, please just hang on to it. I
Don't
don't
need to
trust
say that
myself
again.
with
As he just
You're the party bank.
like, okay, it's
We'll
fine.
hit you up for it later.
I was like, woo! I almost had to let go 100 gold.
almost.
Thanks for catching me. I was slipping. Okay.
Jeez.
Some beautiful items in tow, having to decide when to use them and when to, put them on your body. These are the questions. Is there anything else, team, before you arrive at Havalizer?
Is there how close are we to the coast by this point? Like, is it fully visible from where we are?
When you get to Havalizer, you will be in an area where you can get to the coast.
Okay. I don't suppose the lighthouse is visible anywhere close to here yet.
You can actually see the lighthouse from 20 miles away, so you currently cannot see it.
Okay, fair enough. Not there yet, but it's coming, presumably.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I think on the way, Nana is just kind of going to be keeping an eyeball out, looking out for signs of probably Bosch and his, signs.
Sure, go ahead and roll perception.
Not the worst, not the best. 17.
Okay. You are content, as much as you can be, about the fact that you don't really see anything.
What'd she get?
17.
17.
You probably don't see me planting a bean then.
I'll believe that.
Rolls off to the side.
Yeah, him and his dodge rolls.
Hell yeah. Let me pull this back up. Hell yeah. So on the second day, Gorbjorn, you peel off just very casually.
Just like, gotta take a poop. It's like, you don't need to announce it every time.
I do. It's very important.
You guys have to know how long I'll be gone.
You sneak off to the side. You pull out one bean and bury it.
Yes.
Very
If you
small
could be
poop.
so kind as to roll me a D100.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Jesus
so I
Christ.
got a 26.
26. Let's take a gander.
That can only be good.
Only.
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 I better not be the mummy lord.
What, you guys don't want to be sidetracked by a huge pyramid just appearing in the middle of the road?
Ew.
No.
That was a big dump.
Oh, that seemed painful. Gorbjorn, you plant it. You wait a moment, and there's a low rumble in the earth. And then you watch as stone breaks the surface of the ground in front of you and begins to grow upwards until it is standing at exactly your height. A beautiful, majestic statue in your likeness rises out of the ground on the side of the road, looks at you, and you can see it, like its eyes sort of shift ever so slightly, like a magic overlay. And it's like, well, take a look at this guy. Fucking ugly. Everybody see this guy? He's fucking idiot. Just
You're ugly.
I know, I'm you. Pained physically. Just a beautiful statue of you, but just begins to berate you verbally.
I don't have to deal with this. I walk away. It's your stupid statue.
Yeah, you better run. I'll stay here.
Is Gorbjorn yelling? Is he doing okay?
I come back stomping a
might
bit.
be-
It's like a little
How did-
frustrated.
How did the poop go? You all right? You sounded like you were kind of
Yeah.
aggravated.
Stop. Let's go.
Oh God!
He really climbs into the cart.
All right, we'll get you some fiber when we get to town.
But one being down, the party makes its way, and about 2 p.m. the next day, you arrive in Avalisar, known as the Sea's Light. It is a beautiful little town. The buildings and homes and businesses have paint on them. Reds and blues, oranges, yellows. Some places there are greens. Each building just has its own characteristic to it. There could be like a strip of red across, multiple of them, but the amount of color that just comes with the place on its own is kind of a beautiful contrast to the other places you have been. Don't get me wrong, those places were beautiful, but this is just, there is a lightness to it. There is a hominess to it. There are people about, there's the movement of goods, there's the smell of salt on the air, there are people transporting fish, people doing work, people carrying barrels, people going about their day-to-day business. As you step into town, there is just an overwhelming smell of food, cooking stews and roasting fishes. It is just a very contained, nice space with a warmth to it. And you can see on the horizon the lighthouse off in the distance from where you stand.
It perks up. Didn't know she was not already.
What's it look
but
like?
Yes. Looks so nice.
It is a beautiful place, and the sun reflects a good bit off of this tower as it is stark white. You can tell from a distance, it is just refracting as much sun as it possibly can. And it may be midday-ish, but as you walk, the sound of merriment increases as you make your way into town. There's the occasional look, because once again, you guys have a unicorn and a hot air balloon. It's weird stuff, but people don't
Unicorn
seem
has
to.
at least a shirt now, like partway dressed.
It's partial, but the unicorn's happy to have it. Just like the front, like the bib of a shirt. You all make your way forward, and you see like two young women, probably like 17, 18, run over to a building, stop at the entrance, and have a quick conversation with a half-orc that sits on a stool outside of it. And then he like gives a motion, and they both kind of giggle and run inside. He is sitting in front of the Harp's Heart Tavern. And he just kind of like watches you as you go by, but just the sound of merriment from this place. You can hear the sound of music, of drums, violins. It is just very alive for not being nighttime. And he's just like watching you guys go by. Saga, with your passive perception, you take a look at this building, painted like the rest. And you can see that there's like a little balcony on the second floor. And that balcony has like, looks like bedding on it. Maybe there's like, do they do skylight rooms? You don't know, but you can just tell that there is some sort of bedding on the balcony. As you guys walk by, like the half-orc sort of like looks at you. You guys here for the thing?
Yes. What thing?
When you're in town, what is the thing?
He kind of looks you all over.
And wraps his cloak around him, and he's gonna make his armor look as good as it can when he unwraps it. like not like a grand gesture way, but like it's like, oh shit, I've been looking like myself. Like I forgot I could do this, and he's gonna like just wrap his cloak so nobody sees the transformation, and then just like
but like just sort of stretch nice, real casual.
Yeah.
Like boiled leather armor, like the nice oily black. Like
I'm here for an event.
Yeah.
He kind of looks you guys over. You guys aren't going to cause a problem, right?
Absolutely not.
I'm just fucking with you. And he sort of like hits his thigh. All right. Go on in. Don't be a bunch of shits. And kind of motions to the door.
What's your name?
He looks at you. Why?
Because I'm trying to be more friendly.
He looks like he instantly feels bad.
You actually kind of sounded like
a fist bump.
You're like, Ben's gonna cry. Like,
it's like, I'm just trying to be good.
I'm just trying to be nice. You told me not to be a shit.
Shit. Like he looks uncomfortable for half a second, and he's just like, my name's Hale.
I'm Fen, and I'm gonna again offer the fist bump, and if he hesitates, I'm gonna retract it because I don't want to touch people. But
he hesitates, and you pull back, and then he's like, all right, and he puts his hand back down. But you guys are given access if you're interested.
Did he say what the thing was, or was he lying?
No, he didn't say what the thing was. He was just like, you guys want to come in?
I mean,
but what's the thing though? I'm so curious.
It's right fucking inside.
No,
Can't you hear it?
I need to know.
It's music.
Can we hear it out here?
Yeah, you can hear music.
It's
the sound of drums and violins. It's very upbeat music.
Okay. All right. Sounds like a concert. Sounds like a fun time. Well, no better way to introduce ourselves to the town. Let's have a listen, at least for a while.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. One more question. Can you sleep in that tower?
What?
There's the tower. There's like a balcony. Are you allowed to sleep up there?
Oh, there's not rooms here for like guests.
Not in the tower or not in the town?
Here. But in the town, there's places you guys can go.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, we don't have in rooms.
Yeah, I was just wondering what the bed was. Sorry.
He looks confused, like he doesn't exactly know what you're talking about.
I don't really know anyways, either.
Yeah, that's fine. You guys are talking to me a lot. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, you guys are cool.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you, Hale.
Hail, hail.
Hail, hail.
He's like, yeah, and then gets comfortable on his stool again. As all of you enter the Harp's Heart Tavern.
I was just thinking about how he ruined an opportunity for friendship so quickly. Like,
He could have been my best friend. This place is packed. There are so many people inside, and it's like not past like the work day either. Like it's the middle of the week at 2. Like people
my God.
normally would be working, but a lot of people have showed up and are just there are people kind of dancing around. You can see that there is a man and woman on stage, both playing instruments and occasionally doing like vocalizations that people in the audience sort of chirp and chip on. You can see that there is a bar. It is currently hemmed by a pretty nicely dressed little goblin man who's like standing at the bar and quickly like filling drinks. Goblin's not super common. This is a spiffy little gentleman and is just quickly working, and it seems that he is just pouring one type of drink, and that's what you get if you go over there. And Tordrick's already over there, so
Of course
he already
he is.
goes and gets a drink and brings some back for the group.
Hell
Easy
yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
He was already there and back. It was weirdly quick.
He's got this down to a science.
He
He
does.
knows
He-
how to navigate.
He knows how to get in
He
there, get
spent
out.
too much time with the doormat as how Ardrick made his some Volca.
He just slipped in. He's like, I'll just go. He said I could go in. The music continues and it begins to swell upwards, and the place is warm because of the amount of people. And you can see there's like a hearth off to the side, and it is just so homey, once again, kind of mirroring the outside of this place. And the music swells and swells and swells. And then with just an abrupt stop, a hand on the drum, a scrape of the violin, the music stops. And audience, woo, there's a lot of cheers, people laughing, and they kind of like, you can hear like talking now as people are like, oh, now I can hear each other. And you watch as they both stand up and they give a bow, and you watch as the man takes up his stool and the woman pulls her stool to the center. And then she walks off stage. There is a moment and the vocalizations of the crowd begin to die down until it is now empty with sound. And a man walks on stage, an attractive man, auburn hair, bright blue eyes, wearing like a white top, a bit billowy, tucked into black pants. Very healthy looking in the face, bright flush on the cheeks. And you watch as Bragi sits down on the stool in the center of the stage, harp in hand.
Saga just screams.
Saga just starts screaming.
The fangirls.
Beatlemania scream. She
A
faints.
handmade stone necklace still around his neck. He does not look up at the crowd. You are not the only woman screaming, tell you that much.
You fit right in.
And
Just
then
pointing at her.
look at him. And then after the screams stop, Bragi just sits there. He sits there silently, waiting for the noise to stop. And then there's a strum. And you are flooded back to the memory of being in the tavern, where it is you are engulfed with warmth and a beautiful, inviting energy contained inside of this bubble here that Bragi creates with his music. And there is a warmth and a lightness, and no matter the feelings on Bragi, it is hard to deny the niceness of the sensation. And very softly, I'm lost without you. and goes into the song that you all have heard in the many taverns you have been to, where the bard has played and the people have picked up on the music and tried their best to replicate the feeling inside of it and to hear it in its natural state. His voice echoing through the room, and like it feels like just like filling your chest with song and music and warmth. And at the end of the song, let on my heart demanding, and a soft strum, to the woman who saved me. And he turns, looking up to the audience, and Saga, he makes full eye contact with you. And
Anna leans
that
over
is
and
where we
gives
are
her a
going to
little
take
elbow.
our break. Thank you all so much for being here with us. We're going to take a quick 10-minute break, and then we're going to get back into seeing Broggy. Thank you again. We will be back in 10 minutes.
Thank you, 10.
So hopefully Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cold for episode 78 of On the Backs of Gods. We just took our 10-minute break. The group had made their way towards the lighthouse that's on the horizon and took a quick detour into a very nice little tavern and got to see an old friend, Broggy, the literal god. For anybody who isn't aware, this just it isn't just a person named after the god, it's the literal god. And the song ends and there's a lull and then screams. Just everybody loses their mind. Saga, he does not break eye contact with you. There is no reaction to the sounds of the people cheering. Some people near the
Saga's
front,
just
like trying to reach towards him. Like he just looks in your direction and then after a moment stands and does a quick bow. And then without any hesitation, steps off the edge of the stage and begins to make his way through the crowd in your direction. People freak the fuck out, too. They're just like,
I bet they do.
"Huh?" As they get so excited. People try to talk to him, and it looks like he's giving like very polite nods and quick answers as he makes his way through. And eventually, Saga, standing in front of you, is Broggy, looking very healthy.
Good.
Face a bit fuller, a bit of a flush to the cheek, filled out a bit more physically, and just eyes bright and smiles at you. Could you
I
move?
just give him a big hug.
Oh.
Fenn's gonna like get by Ptolemaeus and just be like, this is going to be a little different than what you've seen so far, and just prep Ptolemaeus with that.
I'm not emotionally ready. Looks like he's already defeated.
I'm guessing he was already bamboozled by the upswell of good feeling in his body and his
He's
heart.
like, I just feel
from
good, and now
nothing.
it's going to get rough again. Saga, you embrace him tightly. Could you you tell me what your passive perception is?
19.
Okay.
Whew.
I'm gonna send you a message just real fast.
Ooh.
All of the women that have written my death warrant or
So many. First off, you see that immediately.
Oh my. Nana will kind of like, if I don't know if she sees all these women like giving Saga death glares, but Nana's just gonna kind of like bow up like, you mess with my friend, you mess with me. No.
You see that these fangirls fear nothing.
Oh yeah, well,
There's no terror in a fangirl's eyes, but none of them move towards this. People keep their distance as Broggy immediately wraps his arms around you as well. It's been ages, and he like looks to Saga, and then it's almost like he has to like peel his eyes away to like look to the rest of the group. And then back to Saga. Saga, are you well?
Oh, I have, yes, I have so much, we have so much to talk about. Like, oh man, so a lot of things have happened.
Of course, would you like to all join me in my room?
certainly, if you'll have
That's
us.
good.
Not a problem. Big smile on the face, kind of looks over to the barkeep and he's like, could you please, and kind of like makes a gesture towards the size of the group, even though he sees you all have drinks. And the goblin guy gives like a thumbs up and for the first time you've seen since you've been in here, opens a different bottle and goes to something different. But you are led through the crowd behind Broggy. He does not stop. He occasionally slows when people talk to him, and he replies quickly, mostly with nods and thank you very much. I understand. Thank you for being here. A lot of that.
No, I won't have your children.
No, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for the
I don't
offer.
need any heirs. That's all right. Thank you.
You're very pretty. I'm very busy right now. I think our schedules won't work. And it just keeps going.
I'm afraid it wouldn't work out between us. That's all right. It's a me thing, not you.
but eventually gets you guys to a back door leading into a hallway. There's nice wooden floors. The establishment itself is not, I wouldn't say it's like hoity-toity, but it's higher end. It's a nicer place. You go past a few doors and go up a set of stairs, and he eventually leads you into a pretty simple, very clean looking room. Bed, desk, something akin to like a bench couch. There are some clothes hung up. But besides that, pretty basic. There's also, Saga, you get to put it all together. There's a balcony entryway from this room where you can see the fabrics. Please sit down wherever you like.
Thank you.
Just very inviting looking. Just like his mannerisms don't exactly mimic it exactly the same, but like you can see like some anxiousness and discomfort, but eventually he sits down on the edge of the bed.
Okay. Well, first off, I'm so happy. We're so happy to see you again. I'm glad we were able to meet up. In all of this. I'm not really sure where to start with all of the stuff that I would like to talk about, but I think we should probably talk about the broad spectrum stuff first. I suppose.
Of course. Wherever you see fit to start, or whatever you think I need to know, I suppose.
Yeah. Do you remember Bosch?
Would have
No.
been after we parted ways.
Oh, was that after?
He had left
Yeah, it was
us, yeah.
after.
Okay. So we met someone named Bosch, and he was a really big fan of the corruption. In a
Killed
bad
a
way.
few people in the village he was supposed to be guarding to feed it.
Yes. Now he's going by the name the Guard, and he's telling people he can control it.
I've heard of the guard. Information comes through here. But I don't know much. I wish. I'm not sure what to do. But I can certainly have people listening for information.
Yes.
To keep an
Any-
ear to the ground.
Yeah. Any help, any extra information would be very good.
And we can tell you all that we know as well.
Mhm.
In
Right,
detail. But broad strokes for now.
What brings you this way? I only can assume, and like looks to Saga.
Yes, the prophecy. The prophecy brought us in this direction. I'm not really sure. Oh goodness. We're looking for a caravan of an ink caravan, I think, next. Or maybe.
Well, there's also the, what was it, Tower of Bone? Bringer of
Yes,
Light?
I believe that's this.
Well, and you can see just like the smile falters a little bit, just like there is indeed a Tower of Bone not very far from here.
Mhm. We're going to go see that. And hopefully there'll be a keeper in there, maybe, or it's the keeper of a candle. I don't know. It's a compass. There's a lot. Sort of.
Well, be careful if we're going that way. The man's whose body it was is gone, but I haven't been able to bring myself to go much further into town than this.
No, why not?
It's nothing. It's just me.
We as people from the world know the legend of this tower being made from Loki's leg bone, right?
Everybody would know that this tower is made from Loki's leg bone. Loki fell in the war, as many of the gods did.
presumably someone Bragi would have known.
Bragi would have probably known every god.
He's mentioned
That makes
it.
sense.
He has mentioned it before, and
Mhm.
his thankfulness that Loki is dead.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I can't bring myself to really go any closer. It's unsettling for me.
That's all right. Well, what have you been up to? I know you've been following your prophecy as well, haven't you?
I certainly have. I followed my prophecy, going off on my own, and that's how. And he motions to the area around him. This is my tavern.
The whole town?
No,
Or
just
just this-
the tavern. The
Okay.
whole shebang.
Wow.
I don't town by now.
I mean, I think I don't know. Yeah. Maybe.
I came into possession of the place following some words from the prophecy, and I've been here ever since.
And it's been treating you well.
It has.
I'm glad. Very glad.
Did you write that song about Saga?
What it sounded like.
Um,
Is he
roll-
blushing?
he already had like a good flush to the face, but
Uh-huh.
certainly not making eye contact with anyone. She actively saved my life.
I didn't
course.
do any.
Oh, yes,
is
you did.
not
Don't
true.
be so modest.
And like he looks to the door, and as he looks, like a young half-orc woman runs in and begins to hand out drinks. And Saga, you are,
Thank you.
without the request for it, given a type of juice drink.
Perfect.
She gives like a
Aw.
smile to the group, and then backs out and closes the door behind her.
I
I'm
leave.
just all wiggly.
Oh, you don't have to say if you don't want to.
Okay, I'm following half orc girl.
Hey!
That makes sense.
That makes
Understandable.
total sense. Get it.
I mean, Tordrick's probably out in the party as well.
Probably.
Porjack's like, we're allowed to leave the room. Like,
I'm gonna go crowd surf. Ooh!
Yeah, I open the door. Torjik runs out, and
yeah, he's like, and he's gone. Ptolemaeus is like, I'm just in the corner of this room, and I'm going to be very quiet. I'm going to sit here and be very quiet.
Ben's hanging out with Toll, and he'll probably speak up at this point and say, Bard, this is a friend of ours. This is Ptolemaeus that comes from a far off land. Is it all right if we're honest with him?
He looks to Ptolemaeus, and Ptolemaeus like looks from you to him, and is like, the spotlight has shifted to him, and he's like, oh no.
He's proved himself trustworthy on
He's a good
many
man.
occasions.
I trust your judgment, and kind of like looks across the group.
He's a man of knowledge and learning, and he wants to know of the world outside of his homeland, and he's never seen anything like many of the things that he's seen since he's been here, but he's certainly never seen anything like you.
That's for certain.
Oh, and Ptolemaeus like looks at him. Oh, they are implying the fact that I am, and he seems uncomfortable saying it, that I am a god. And Ptolemaeus sort of like just looks at him. He's like, and he kind of nods.
Well, if Ptolemaeus faints, I'll catch him.
It's almost like this is like maybe not the worst thing anybody's ever told him, but maybe you guys have desensitized him.
I mean, compared to
Between all our
like
other talk.
corruption monsters, this is kind of better.
this is
Like,
better than that. But
I feel like maybe we may have mentioned meeting
I think
Bragi
Bragi
at
might
some
have been
point.
mentioned before, but this is seeing him.
Yeah,
And he
yeah,
like
yeah.
looks to Bragi and he's like, it is very nice, an honor meet you. And Bragi like shakes his head. That's unnecessary. It is nice to meet you as well. So you all are going to the lighthouse.
Yes.
Yes, I think the end of the prophecy will be there.
Close to it, at least.
Yes, quite close.
Right.
Interesting.
You all are of course welcome to stay here. This is not an inn, but there are places to sleep. Think nothing of that. I would
kind.
advise trying to get there with as much sun available as possible.
What makes you say that?
There are rumors from the people just that I think the essence of such a person lingers in the sense of trickery in the place. People talk about the number of steps being different each time, and seeing things or hearing things, but it's mostly hearsay at this point. But I wouldn't doubt if just a leg of his is cursed.
That
But
would not be shocking.
there have not been any deaths or anything like that. It is just, it is probably fine for all of you to go.
We can see the lighthouse, but can we see the light itself during daylight?
The light, you could not see it. You don't know if it's because it was light out or because it was not on.
Okay.
It's one of the two. Is there and you see Bragi like looks to Saga again. And you're okay?
Yes, I'm not hurt. I think I want to talk about some things maybe.
Of
No.
course. Did you want to?
Did you need some privacy?
Yeah, I think Roshan notices that and says, let's all go get some more drinks downstairs, friends.
I think that's a lovely idea, Roshan. Fen and Ptolemaeus.
But Ptolemaeus is already out of the room.
There we go. We'll get some drinks. We'll be back later. Enjoy yourselves.
Right. Thank all of you. It's good to see everyone. I'm glad you're all well.
You as well.
Just a parting. You look well.
He gives sort of just a confirming nod. As all of you slip out, and he says, if you speak to Razi, the woman who was just in here, she could show you which rooms are available. Because it's gonna be like a couple hours until the sun even starts doing anything, but like you have a place to stay, and you can hear the sound of music back, like ramping back up downstairs. The party
This is,
does
of
not
course,
die.
provided Razi is not being distracted at this very moment.
Yeah, it's
by
kind of hard to
somebody else.
talk with two tongues in your mouth.
Jesus Christ. Meanwhile,
At least roll the charisma check first, dude.
I'll roll it in hell. Gorbjorn, you've caught her attention. She is happy to talk to you. That's not a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Did I tell you I'm a prince?
Puts on the tooth crown. I don't know if
No.
anybody told you.
Not
There might be a
target
stone
DC.
guy in the forest saying bad things, but don't listen to him.
That will only be for a day anyway. It's
Please
fine.
don't talk to the statue. It is not nice. But you're able to catch up with her. Is there anything you'd like to say? Is this an attempt at wooing a nice young lady?
Yes, but
Okay.
I'm also kind of curious about like what tribe she came from, or if she knows anything of like the orc stuff. But I wanted to like that be like pillow talk kind of thing.
You know what? Go ahead and roll me charisma with advantage.
Backstory isn't the best foreplay.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh
Come
no!
on, dude!
You know, sometimes you just don't. I got an 8.
Okay.
Oh, for your
Um,
better roll. Oh,
I
buddy.
will.
Yeah.
I will say that
Oh.
this isn't as easy as it's been with some people, but you
I'm on the
start
road,
out
I
with.
smell. I get it. Like,
Yeah, she's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Take a bath first. Then we'll
You're
talk.
not exotic to her. She's
She's
half
like,
orc
okay.
too.
Yeah.
There's one like right outside. But she is happy for the conversation and the drink that you will be buying her, as she pretty much states. And who knows what it may progress to in the night, but this one takes effort. But you know, better than
The
talking to
chase is
sad God up in
worthwhile.
his room. So you're like, this is way better. Eventually, it is just Broggy and Saga alone in the room together, and he looks to her. What did you want to talk about? You seem different.
Well, so do you. You look well, but what are you really?
He looks away, almost like a tinge of embarrassment. And you watch he like rubs a hand over his face, and you watch as in some spots his hand seems to dip beneath the skin. You can tell that his face is glamored. I have not been very well. But today's a good day. So that's good.
Well, we can work on that. I think, I don't know. I mean, I've been alright, but it's just been a lot going on. I've learned a lot of things recently. You know, Lady Satyr,
Yes.
I don't know if I know her very well anymore, though. I mean, I know that I know what I know up until I was born a little while ago, but I don't know anything else. I've been wondering about that a little bit, because I met this other god, not white, not quite, the uproar.
There's a look of recognition in his face. Huh.
Yeah, it was kind of strange. She spoke to me and Gorbjorn, and she told me that she knew that Lady Satyr had locked away a bunch of stuff from my knowledge from the past and everything. She said she could get it all out for me, among other things, if I work with her. I talked to Lady Satyr about it, and she was a little unhappy, quite unhappy. She showed me one thing, because I asked her and she showed me one thing, and it wasn't much, but I want to know more about it. Need to.
I'm so happy you've gotten here. That you have found this place within yourself. I tried earlier on when we were traveling to, but I didn't want to press it, and everyone was it was a tense situation, and I did not want to upset you. I knew the lady was wrong the moment you put those drops in my eyes, and there was nothing I could do to make you see that at the time.
Oh,
I knew she would not hurt you. I knew that. But you have found this place. And if that is through the uproar, I would rather than see you stand with the uproar, if that is what brings you happiness and clarity.
I know that Anna and Fen, they both had not so great experiences. Lady Satyr, I guess I just couldn't. You were the only one that got something. I thought maybe. Sometimes I feel like I can tell people are thinking, and then sometimes it's, I don't know. Oh man.
You have wedged yourself between two very powerful women. I would not like to be in your place, but I will stand there with you. And he sort of like looks off for a moment. The lady, her name was Freya, a long time ago. And she is not the same woman, and if she does not go by that name, then I will not use it.
What?
The war broke her, as it did many. I had actually thought her dead for a long while. And that may have been best for her, but that is not the case.
Well, she's the only person that I've known for so long. It's the only. I don't know. She's been lying. Is that lying? I don't know. I guess she's not that person anymore, is she?
She was a beacon. And there is no other way to put it. They betrayed her and they left her. Few gods stood alone on that coast, and she was gone. If she is angry, it is understandable.
Yeah.
But she has no right to hurt you, to bring you down with her. You deserve to have everything.
I don't know about that, but I think I'd just like to know. It's like,
did that kill your mic? That might have killed your mic. So Gorbjorn's kissing an orc lady downstairs.
Okay. Is it back?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay. It like
Canon
fell
now.
and then
We're making
died.
out.
We made it to the making out stage.
what was I saying?
What did I just say?
You, he said you deserved everything and you weren't sure about that.
Yes, thank you. I don't know about that, but I think I'd at least like to know. I'd like to know who I am. I think that much is. I don't think that's too much to ask for. I'd like to know if there's somebody that I'd like to know if there's people that I left behind. I'd like to know if I hurt anybody in the past. I feel like there's a whole nother life that I just. Maybe more, maybe multiple. Roshan was talking to me and he said that, I met another follower of Lady Satyr and she died and then came back as like a younger version of herself, and I don't know if that could have happened to me a whole bunch of times.
Broggy cups your face. You are Saga.
I think maybe what if I could.
And if your name is different tomorrow, then it is different tomorrow. If you are different tomorrow, then you are different tomorrow. You when I left, I thought I was in a well enough place, and I left and I haven't been able to sleep. I can't stay asleep, and I certainly can't sleep inside. I lay on the balcony every night. Because what if each night is a trap? And what if I am not even meant to be out? What if that is wrong too? And yet here I am. You kept me steady. And I have wilted without your light. And he like brushes the glamour from his face, and it is a stark contrast. The bags under the eyes, a bit of sunken in the cheeks, and just a bit of reds in the corners. I can't sleep, I barely eat, and the only time I could was with you. That was the only time. So no matter who you are, today, tomorrow, 10 years from now, you will always mean a great deal to me. And what you have done for me can never be repaid. I truly can't. Memories or not, giantesses, gods or not, if I can just do one thing for you to even begin to repay, I would do it, no questions asked. I will defend you, no questions asked.
Saga kind of does a bit of the same thing when she reaches up. She kind of just touches where the glamour used to be, and his very sharp, sunken face. Whether you're a god or person or whatever, you're alive on this world and deserve to be here just like everybody else. Nobody needs to deserve to be here. That's just it's just life. Deserve life. And all of these people around, they're all so happy because of you. The moment I saw this town, I could tell that there's something off. It felt wonderful. It felt like home. And that's because you're here. And you're making everyone feel wonderful. And you bring that with you everywhere you go. And that's not just because you're some powerful person, it's because you're you, alright? And, you have to keep yourself safe and healthy, and just as much as I need to, and all my friends need to. And I've really missed you too. It was really nice having you around and everything, and I'm very glad that we're back. And you're here, and that you're so supportive. I miss people. I like being around people. Get lonely and everything, and I'm not very lonely when I'm around you. Ever.
I mirror the sentiment. Saga, you deserve to know what home is. It's not something that that you had to earn. You should just have had it. And that was taken. And that is unfair.
I think the feeling that I felt, just the little one, there was sadness, I think, mixed in, but just a little tiny, tiny bit. It felt like connection and people and love, and I don't know, I can't describe it. It was a whole bundle of things. But whatever it was, I feel just it's almost like what I feel when I'm around all of my friends. And when I'm with you. And if there was something like that that gave me so much happiness, I need to know. I think I need to know. And I need to... If Lady Sator's gonna stop me from finding out, stop me from... have that. And
We're going to find out. We're going to find out.
So it just gives him another.
He fully embraces you and is just holding on tightly. I understand if this is and he kind of pushes back tears that have started to fall from his eyes. I mean this in no untoward way. Would you sleep in here tonight? As if we were at an inn.
no, I think we still have a lot to talk about.
Perfect. I'd love to do that. And he takes a deep sort of steadying breath, and it is contrast to the ruckus that has begun downstairs.
So he's just gonna give him one last hug and be like, but first we need some food and some bread and some cinnamon. I'll be right back. And she runs away.
All right. Saga up and into the chaos of downstairs immediately.
But she will be back as soon as she can.
Just a quick question. Is there anything anybody likes to do? I know what Gorbjorn's about and what he's aiming for. Or people just here to have a good time? And that is fine.
Hanging out with Toll and answering any questions that he's got.
He's oddly sitting there very quiet.
Yeah.
For a man of knowledge, he's like he opens his mouth and he's like, and then he kind of goes back to dwelling on it.
Every time he does that, I'll just slide him another drink. Just like,
oh no.
Yeah.
Roshan would like to ask some of the locals about the lighthouse. See just general facts and who might be hanging around.
Sure, go ahead and just give me some persuasion.
Yeah.
Gimme.
22.
Smooth talker, easy to get people to talk about the lighthouse because the lighthouse is pretty neat. You learn
Biggest landmark in town.
The only landmark in town.
Ooh.
You learn it is about 300 feet tall. That 99% of it is comprised of the bone. The only thing that is visible basically kind of from the outside besides the light on top is the door is not made out of the same material. It is made of wood, which people talk about. They start listing off the facts they know because it's been rattled off to them thousands of times. They tell you how protective people are of it, this landmark. And there are a lot of signs. This guy's just like, oh, there's a sign. And if a lot of threats of arresting you if you climb it or you desecrate it, and starts like listing off all of the sort of the warnings associated with it. And one person's like, you gotta count the steps. Every time the steps are different. And somebody's like, that's bullshit. And it's like, no, I did it. And then just people start arguing about that. Somebody says they're like, one time I saw a woman dressed in white wandering the steps, and they're like, bullshit. And
seems like that's a running theme. It's like, I once did a thing. Bullshit.
That's the vibe.
They're all too scared to have ever gone anywhere near it.
Yeah.
Probably.
They talk about that there is a caretaker. There is a caretaker or multiple. Nobody's really sure because they don't come out too much. They've seen like an old man wandering around, and like just people sometimes just show up to go see it.
I mean, it is a big, tall leg of a god, so I could imagine there'd be some tourists.
You also learn the spooky facts. Somebody's just like, normally ain't lit. Sometimes lit. Someone's like, shit, that's true. Nice.
Is
Well,
Nana
if there's
in
a
on this
keeper,
conversation?
then it should be lit all the time,
Maybe
right?
he's a shitty keeper.
Oh, it sounds like it.
I don't know
I mean,
the
I don't-
laws of lighthouses.
Does he only light it on special occasions?
We did not consider that. Maybe it's a special occasion light, because it's not like there's a bunch of big ships, coming by or whatever. This because it was, back in the day there was more boating. We don't really go out that far, so it's not the most useful. Why do we have a keeper? And like people just start yelling at each other.
When was the last time it was lit?
Somebody says like a week ago. Somebody says no, it was just how the sun was hitting it. It was a month ago. You cannot get a concise answer.
Fuck.
And I put out some descriptions of Mikkel and Eitri, just to see if anyone recognizes them.
Nana wants to listen in on that.
Not ringing a bell.
No.
Very specific
Roshan.
people. Not ringing
Okay.
a bell.
Roshan, do you want some help with that? I might be able to.
If you want to ask around more, but it seems pretty definitive that people around here haven't seen them.
All right, just in case you have a way with words. I trust your vernacular, but I can make myself look like whatever I want, and I remember what they look like. So if ever comes a time when you want to make sure that someone is responding to the question that you're asking, keep that in mind.
Roshan will lean over and whisper in his ear, I don't think making yourself look like one of our enemies is the safest, especially in public. But maybe for like small group gatherings.
I heard a baby crying once. Bullshit. Bullshit. There was just probably somebody with a baby, and it's just like, no, it was a ghost. And
It was a ghost baby from the tower.
it was a ghost adult person pretending to be a baby, and they're like, what the fuck does that even mean? And it's just people very divided on the lore and the events that have taken place in this lighthouse. Yes, Nana.
Something that Nana's kind of been mulling on for a little while, and that she really didn't have much chance or bandwidth to talk about back in our last town we visited. Nana kind of wants to field the question amongst anybody who isn't answering Roshan's questions about the lighthouse, about whether or not there are tattoo parlors of any significant repute in the town. It being by the sea, she kind of figures there might be a few.
What you are first given is some very shady information. There's a dude, don't know his name, wears one boot. And you're like, That's doesn't seem good. And they're like, you're not wrong.
Hmm.
But you hear them talking about like a very good tattoo artist. Like you hear people bring up one that you guys have already passed who's further north. They're just like, colors were amazing, looked like a painting. And then somebody else is like, there's a guy further south, more towards the coast, like getting really on it. Heard he's good. But if you're just like looking for like something quick and easy, there's the dude with one boot. They call him One Boot. I do not know his name. We've just called him One Boot, and I don't think anybody has ever asked.
Does he have another foot? Is it just one foot? Is it just
Does
one
anyone
foot?
know if he's missing a foot? And everyone
Does
freaks
he
out.
have a foot to go along with the boot, or does he not?
Somebody's just like, how does he walk? He has 2 feet, and everyone's like, oh, and everyone nods. They're just like, he just has one boot. If he was missing a leg, they'd call him One Foot.
I like
And
how
they're like,
all of these conversations have been the whole tavern together.
everybody's in.
Yeah.
And they're
I
just like,
feel that.
there's a guy at the bar who's like, I got a foot. And you can see there's a man with one boot at the bar.
It's the guy.
He fully displays his disgusting foot, and everyone confirms he do have it.
Ooh, he do have it.
But that is what you are able to glean, is that there's a very good tattoo artist north, a very good tattoo artist south.
I see.
But Saga, it is easy enough to gather these things because the guy at the bar seems very eager to give you anything you ask for, and even if looks skeptical, is like, I'll find it. Like gets you basically everything you ask for.
Okay.
Whatever group member is close, I will
Let them know I will be talking to Broggy this evening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
The bard.
When are we leaving?
The bard.
Yeah. It's probably like Brady.
B.
I
I call him
and,
3 B's because he's that special to me.
Yes. Are we meeting tomorrow morning or something to leave? Or are you guys planning to leave tonight? I don't want to leave tonight. I have plans.
How long would it take us to get there? Is it 20 miles away from this town, or?
It is slightly under. So if you guys went at a fast pace early in the morning, you could get there before the sun sets, or you could get closer, camp, then go when the sun's up. But moving quickly, you could definitely get there before sundown.
But Broggy did advise us that we wanted as much light as possible to explore the tower.
Yeah, I think it's probably safest to leave and then camp and then get there in the morning the next day.
leave tonight, camp for a little bit, or
Leave tomorrow, camp closer to the tower, and then get there in the morning of the next
Got
day.
it.
That makes sense.
Saga will confirm that and then disappear.
Okay.
And then
I
cuddle
will
with
wish
Broggy
her
all evening
well wishes
and
for the
explain
evening.
everything that they've done, and then ask everything he's done and eat food.
Yeah, he's elated to talk to you. He keeps the glamour off, like he doesn't feel it necessary, or whatever reasoning he may have to put it back on, but is enraptured listening to you talk. Gives information where he can. His story, it's not as interesting as yours. It was mostly quietly walking from town to town, and when the impulse came to perform, I did. Very effective. Little too effective.
We heard about you for miles, for multiple towns. Every town we passed, they said they saw there was the bard.
Yes, I told one person I was just a bard, and that
That's what they
became
told
my
us.
moniker.
Yes.
Uh,
You know,
so
Next time you gotta think of a cooler name, because Gorbjorn went with Prince Gorbjorn, and that has treated him very well.
I should have been
Maybe-
Prince The bard.
Bard. Yeah, yes.
The bard formerly known as Prince.
Yes.
The prince formerly known as Bard?
But he eats while you're there. He laughs while you are there. And
Does it all seem genuine and legitimate? There's no difficulties? Does he feel better? A little bit, just a
roll
tiny bit?
insight? I'll let you roll with advantage.
Get it.
Does his tummy hurts?
Is your tummy okay? You haven't eaten how your
Romeo
limmies
show.
feel.
Did you
Or your
have milk today?
Did you-
Don't drink it. It's bad.
I
I tried it
again.
again.
It's still bad.
previously.
Wasn't good
What'd you
either.
get?
Still bad.
19.
19. He is putting up a little bit of a show, just a little bit. It is not the extent of what it was before, but when he laughs, it is genuine. You can tell when the smile is genuine. Most of the encounter is purely genuine. You can tell that he tries to keep up just a very nice, kind of pleasant face, but you can tell when it shifts into genuine emotion from him. He will happily stay the night with you, and if you stay, will sleep inside for probably the first time since he has left you.
Probably just I'm so into a conversation and so into a story, and then it slowly gets less and less, and then I just fall asleep. But probably been right beside him the whole time. So
And,
hopefully he sleeps.
he does not leave your side. Gorbjorn, this woman, Rosie, looks to you. Yeah, okay. And she slaps the table and gets up. Come on. Let's go.
And I follow.
Ptolemaeus, very shit-faced, very quiet. Eventually can be led to a room where he will pass out. Yes, Nana.
I am assuming that before our half-orc hostess makes off with Gorbjorn, we're able to ascertain where
Yes,
these
you guys
supposed
have.
rooms
It's
are.
all good.
Okay. Good. Cool. Excellent. Thank you. Proceed.
That's why you're the leader.
Wait, before you go, are there keys? What is it? But you guys are able to get rooms. Gorbjorn, what did you want to talk to Rosie about after we fade to black and then unfade to black?
Mostly what she remembers of where she's from. Was she brought up in kind of like a clan kind of setting like mine?
Yeah.
Were they under control of the orc chief kind of thing like that?
She seems actually interested in talking about this. She informs you that she's a third generation away from some sort of tribe that her grandfather wouldn't talk about it, and that he was part of something and then had defected and moved down here, and she's lived in this town her whole life. So her knowledge is minimal.
But she said down here, so she knows that somewhere up north there is some orcs. Okay.
Yes.
Ha!
Got
Christo's smarter than Gorbjorn.
All 8 of those intelligence points.
Yeah,
We've
exactly.
done it. Anything else?
Just small details, probably just getting being formal, knowing each other kind of thing.
Yeah.
Telling her I'm a prince and everything.
She's like,
Mhm.
She lets you talk about it. But the night passes. Eventually, at a late hour, sound leaves this place. There's almost a vibration still just from how loud it was. It's like being at a concert and then the music just shuts off and you're like, This is my life now. People find rooms to sleep in, drunk or not. Tordrick is asleep at the bar. He is stationed up and he is staying there. His back, I'm sure, will be okay. But the night comes. You all sleep. Gorbjorn, that same goddamn dream happens again, and it feels like it's just a little bit closer. And you all wake up with the sun. Broggy gets up, is able to get food going. He has put his glamour back on when he leaves the room. Sweets and bacon and eggs are all acquired, and there's food to be had and talk. If you all are going to the lighthouse, I would say do not stay for very long. Get there, do what you need to do, and leave.
What do
we need to do?
Better.
Actually, I don't think we have to do anything because I'm pretty sure the prophecy says don't interfere. So I think we just need to be there.
All right.
Something about meeting the keeper, but I don't know that the keeper will be there. There was some confusion amongst the people in the tavern in general last night. I don't know.
I can't say. People talk a lot about the lighthouse. I've heard talk of a keeper before. Sometimes he is an old man. Sometimes he is an old man pretending to cry like a baby. I don't fully follow the legend. But if you go inside looking for a keeper, I wouldn't make camp in the lighthouse. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Okay.
Good advice, I think. Thank you.
Is there anything you need from me before you go? We can get you food if you need something or supplies. That's no problem.
I think we have everything.
Most things, I think. I mean, I should hope we wouldn't run into any sort of altercation on the way, but
Right.
I think we're prepared.
This is the last time we'll be able to talk until you get back. I cannot be contacted in here.
Oh,
So if
yes.
you need something.
I was wondering, because Roshan sent you a message the other day, and then you just yesterday, and
Oh,
you didn't
I'm
answer.
very
and I got-
sorry about that. I've put
okay.
wards up on the building.
Oh,
Yeah, I got
that makes
worried.
sense.
It's not any of our business, but what are you warding against?
I'm just being safe.
All right.
Should put some wards to protect you in your sleep as well.
That sounds like a good idea.
I-
Heart palpitation.
Gorbjorn, are you all right?
Okay.
Yeah, just got a feeling that I'm being hunted, you know?
You what?
Can I?
Aren't
Can I?
they?
What?
I understand that sensation very deeply.
Gorbjorn, how long has that been going on?
He's gonna look at Tordrick and just I can't say now. Since we left town 2 days maybe.
Really?
Can I put two and two together?
100.
Easy.
I mean, you can make
Easy.
assumptions if you'd like to.
I'm gonna make an assumption in my head.
Hmm.
I've made it.
Oh, well,
100 by what, Gorbjorn?
Broggy's
Hunter
a
knows
little
what-
wide in the eyes. Mm-hmm.
A hunter knows the hunt.
I'll believe
Um,
you on that.
Maybe I should do some more praying. Maybe.
Might not be a bad
maybe.
idea. Little extra never hurt.
I think
Tordrick,
Tordrick, if you'd be
praying-
so kind as well.
and you see Rozzy is pushing past because you guys are standing next to a table. She's physically moves a Saga who's next to it and pulls the chair off the table. Return swiftly.
Yeah.
Um,
Saga's been hovering
around
Mhm.
Bragi the whole time.
Oh,
Just give him another hug before she leaves. I'll be back. I think yes, very soon. And I think we'll hang out a lot, probably.
I would love that.
Bye bye.
Goodbye, and looks to the group as all of you make your way out, belongings in hand, making your way through this very nice town. Literally every building has this painting upon it. Like if somebody probably opted out, somebody probably showed up and painted on their house. Like it's everybody's doing it type of deal.
Did Paul come with us?
Ptolemaeus would ask to not.
that's
Um,
fair.
He is also very hungover.
Right.
He
was
probably
like-
had to drink a lot last night.
So he kind of like looked from bed and was like, "That is okay, I shall wait," and like pulls the blanket over his head.
Take good care of yourself.
So he is staying. So no Hercules, no Ptolemaeus.
Nana will leave a big mug of water next to Ptolemaeus's
There you go,
bed.
man.
You
Yeah.
leave his
Hercules in
balloon
a little
here,
nurse
friend?
outfit is helping him.
Don't worry, I'm going to help. Please don't. Uh-huh.
Do the painting on the building, do they look at all arcane in nature?
I'm going to tell you straight up, no.
Okay.
It is mostly like the walls are painted red or they are
Okay.
painted blue. Not a lot of design to it. Maybe some dots in places and other lines, but nothing crazy. Yes, Nana.
Nana just kind of wants to mention to Saga as they're making their way towards the lighthouse. You seem so very happy to have seen Bragi again.
Absolutely. I don't know. I just miss them a lot. I'm not sure.
I can understand that.
I don't know. It's kind of like you don't notice how much you're feeling it until like you see the person again, and then you're like, wow, I really miss that person.
I know just what you mean. I do.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. I'm really glad for you. So, you and he had a good conversation last night?
Yeah. We stayed up and we talked. Well, I told him everything that we've been doing. And talked about what he's been doing and everything.
And he's been all right, really?
Yeah. Well, he's not. He's a little sad, but you know, that's Bragi. I think he just needs a little you know, a little like cinnamon bun or like some kind of like a nice drink or something, or just a good song, you know, just a little
A
cheer,
little
cheer
extra
up, you know.
TLC, as they say, right?
Yes, I think so. And then he'll
That
be
would
all right.
not. That would not surprise me. And who better to administer to him than you?
Well, if I can help, I'd love to. I like that. I like being around people and everything. And you guys.
That's you to a T, Saga. And we're happy to have you.
Thank you.
Ordric skips ahead a little sprint in his step, just being near the ocean. He seems pretty invigorated, moving quickly in the direction of the lighthouse.
Can I find just a little bit on the journey to step aside and ask a question of the shadow?
I think it would look obvious if you step to the side to do something. So there'd have to be a reason, or you are just stepping to the side to have a conversation mid-walk.
I gotta go poop.
Well,
Works for me.
I'll
It
tell
works
you
for
this, Fen,
Gorbjorn.
at least.
I
Fen,
mean,
at
it would
least
work
if
for
we're near
anyone.
at least if we're near the shore, Fen is looking for these clams, the oysters.
Yeah.
So
You guys are
Fen's
not near
distracted.
the shore yet. So
Oh, I
that's
thought-
not.
I thought Tordric ran off to the shore.
No,
so-
no, he's going in that direction. You guys are not there yet.
Oh, okay. All right. Never mind.
Yeah, I guess Roshan will use the poop excuse and excuse himself for a hot minute.
You know where to find one? A bathroom?
We've been traveling in the woods the whole time. We obviously
The,
poop in the
the
woods.
woods are my bathroom.
Roshan
fair
goes
enough.
off to the side.
All right then.
What do you do?
Roshan probably activates some not dispel, but detect magic.
Bye.
Kills the shadow.
No, my one weakness.
And asks, "Are we getting closer to something? Is something we seek in the lighthouse?"
The shadow stands there with you as if it had just been, didn't even feel like it appeared. It just was there. And it looks in the direction of the lighthouse. That is something incredibly powerful. It may not be what we are looking for, but look at it.
All right.
Just almost like enamored looking in that direction.
Why are you so interested in the tower now?
I did not know what it was before. It's power. It's maybe a chance to learn.
I hope it is at least that.
Here's hoping. And you can almost just see a little smile on the shadow's face. You did a good job talking to your friend. I liked that.
Roshan's not going to answer that. He's frustrated that the shadow's listening in on his conversations, but the only person he has to blame is himself, so...
The shadow kind of seems to straighten up a bit and then just very casually just gives you a bit of a nod and then begins to continue the trek all right, good talk.
Good talk. And then Roshan will actually use the bathroom and then head back to the group.
You're well, while I'm here, now that I've said it,
now that I actually have privacy,
I'll take this moment for me. You all continue the trek through this very nice town, able to sample the wares if so interested to grab a fish on a stick. They just roasted the whole fish on a stick. It belongs to you now. The food here is delicious and the smell is honestly intoxicating. Just the smell of this place, the ocean mixed with the smell of cooking foods. And I buy
a fabric at mock speed. And then
hell yeah, you're just you whiz into a building and you just throw coin.
Are there
give me your best fabric.
Are there spices?
Huh?
Spices?
You can acquire spices here. That's no problem.
Chilies?
There are some dried. There are no fresh.
Yeah, dried, very hot. The hotter the better.
You were given a chili by a man who says it is the hottest chili he's ever tasted.
I will try it.
He hands you the chili.
Nana will spot Fen just in case he starts dying.
You try this chili. It is akin to a bell pepper, and he's just this guy, and he murmurs and points at him. Everyone's uh-huh. They just let this guy live his life. Hottest chilies in the city.
All right. So do you know where to find actual hot chilies? No? Okay.
This man slams the door in your face.
All right,
He's
that's fine.
Wow. My chilies are so spicy.
Maybe for you.
So sadly, can't acquire at this moment, but probably with a more thorough investigation. You can
Okay, yeah, that's fine. They're just passing through.
Yep. Saga, you come out with a new spool of fabric. very just people are like whizzing in through shops. Like the main group never stops walking, so it's like, oh shit.
Oh no,
as
I'm
you-
skipping at full speed.
I've never skipped faster in
Skipping
my
at
life.
Mach speed. Woo!
But you all make your way forward and you enter an area of the town called Lower Light. And then you realize that the other part of town was Upper Light. And you spend most of the day walking through here, and there's one difference compared to Upper Light. Is the cats.
Huh?
So many cats.
Oh boy.
There are young cats, old cats, every type of color on a cat. Tails, no tails. Some with extra toes, some with got the extra ears, some missing eyes, some of them little three-legged cats walking around. It is a bombardment of cats. Plenty of inbred cats, because you could just tell by some of the features. But it is just so many cats, and like the amount increases as you make your way closer to the lighthouse. It's
Very
like
quick.
they have congregated.
Very quick note. Fen is keeping Jenny very tightly in his pocket.
Yeah, that's fair.
Get away.
Mm,
There's a bit of a smell that comes along with it, but it has to fight against the smell of, the ocean and these foods. So it's now just an extra little bit of many cat. And
many cat.
and then just these cats walk around like they own the place. You watch one of them like push open a door and like walk inside, and like nobody tells the cat to leave. It is just full of cats, and you all are able to find an inn in Lower Light. Easy enough. There are a couple copper on the table. The room is yours, and the night passes uneventfully again as you prepare in the morning to go towards the lighthouse, Gorbjorn, of course. And this time you swear, looking at the window, you can just see the shape of something in the distance. You can see the top. It's sort of like, kind of like this shape, bit of a round silhouette at the top. And that's all you see in shadow before you wake up and push the feelings of being hunted deep inside. Is it guilt? Is it a curse? I'm not asking questions.
I'll put it into the rage organ that
Yeah.
fuels me.
My next rage is
Just-
going to be amazing.
Redirect that right into the rage organ. We'll be fine.
You all basically walk through these hordes of cats, and as you approach the
Nana will
lighthouse,
try to pet at least one of them. Who
easy
knows if she
enough. These
succeeds.
cats have no fear of people.
Hell yeah.
There's one cat that looks like it'll beat the shit out of you, and you avoid that cat. Like it's just really broad in the shoulder, and
That
you're
one
like,
does not
"No,
want to be
it's
pet.
the size of a dog. I'm not going to go talk to that cat. But that's probably a good point on your part.
Yep.
You all get closer and closer to this spire, and it is, as they said, it is fully comprised of bone. There is
Yep.
nothing else. This white it isn't even like, it's a bit sun bleached, but there is no visible damage to it anywhere besides the places where very thin windows were carved out and where a very humble wooden door sits at the bottom. In this place, you can see multiple signs stamped into the ground right in front of the door. No climbing, vandalizing, or defiling. Possible fine or imprisonment is stated on one of the signs. And it's like, and then there's another sign that's much more fun. That's like, count the stairs. You'll never get the same number twice. And
Like
the
every
entryway.
good roadside tourist trap must have.
You see people walking around it. The townspeople unbothered. There's like a cat like curled up at the base of the sign. It is just
That makes sense.
every day for these people, and you all stand at the entrance. Looking around, there does not seem to be a freaky old fisherman standing near the entrance like, it is I, the keeper. None of that.
A man with one boot who has a needle.
You're looking around for a man with one boot, and you're just like, I'll find him. I'll find him. But
kind of like to find the tattoo artist that doesn't have the one boot on account of him maybe having better command.
Listen, I'm just asking for 2 boots. I'm not asking for
That's
a lot.
That's fine.
Well,
So
yeah.
is it clearly illegal to go inside and climb the stairs?
No, it is
No.
Okay.
implying climbing on the outside. Is
Okay.
That's sort of
Thanks
what
for
I
that
asked.
clarification.
Yeah, you're like, well, sorry guys.
It's illegal. We can't go in.
count the stairs and climb the tower.
Tordrick
Well-
steps forward and tries the door, and he swings it open. It's unlocked. Should we go in?
Well, if only to try and find the keeper, maybe. Why not?
Yeah.
At the very least, we can get a good look around,
I'll
see
go
what else
in.
there is to see.
Let's count some stairs.
Let's
Going
count
in.
some stairs. Let's count the
Torbjorn
fuck out of some stairs.
The front, Tordrick is immediately behind. The rest of you fall in place. The inside, one of the people you heard was right. There's not add-ons. The inside is very pocked in appearance. It is dry,
Ossified,
bone.
like looks like bone cut down the middle. Like that's what
Yeah.
it looks like.
The stairs also have a bit of a pocked texture to them, but the stairs and the walls, it's all bone. There's, of course, you have to keep a bit of a eye on the stairs because they are not, specific. They are uniform in size and shape, but not in pockage. So it's like, okay, just be aware that some of the spots a little hard to step onto, but you begin to make your way up the steps. It's a little dark. You can see light up ahead from where the windows, the very thin windows, like this thin, like you can't even begin to put your face through them.
Like, would they look like archers' windows like you would see on old tower battlements?
It just seems to be thin windows. You can't, it could be, you're not sure. Just thin windows.
Are there cats in here as well?
There are not cats inside. All the cats, like
So-
you open the door and one cat's just like, and he like yawns and he stretches and he like lays down on his back next to the door.
Saga vaguely remembers Bragi warning her something about cats, so she was a little bit like looking around at them, even though they look really cute. But there's no cats in here, so it's all right.
Is anyone counting the steps?
I got 10.
I
You
think
made
we
me
should
lose
each
track.
count.
That sounds like
I
a
go
good
back
idea.
down, and I come back up. Okay.
You
Anna's
all begin,
definitely keeping count.
you begin stepping upwards, and each of you count silently in your head. And if somebody doesn't, somebody says, shush. And they're like, yeah, you're right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd love everybody to roll wisdom saving throws.
Oh, God.
Does it change anything if I'm not counting steps? If I'm looking
Nope.
for okay.
It does not.
Can I? Dang, it's too late to do an emboldening bond now, isn't it?
It is. It is now too
Oh,
late.
sorry, it's saving throw. Oh, yeah, that's the same for me actually.
I'm going to ask each person individually just so I make sure everything is correct. Saga,
15.
15. Nana,
17.
17. Roshan,
17.
17. Fen,
7.
7.
Ooh,
Gorbjorn,
buddy.
11.
11. Tordrick rolled a nat 1.
Oh, no!
He is the one
God,
with
dude!
the wisdom.
You
Come
all
on, man.
make your way up the steps,
Cleric.
and everyone counts softly to themselves. And that is where we're going to stop for tonight.
What?
Thank you all so much for coming here and getting to listen to a story that we're telling, and it's a good time. We'll deal with that next time. Thank you all so much. We really appreciate it. Love having you guys here at the Dice Cult. We got a lot of other stuff going on. On Tuesdays, we have Legends of Theia, which is one run by Frank. Hopefully all of the stars and planets align and we get to see some beautiful D&D on Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Abby, could you tell me about Wednesdays?
Absolutely. Wednesdays there is a variety of D&D shows. Lately, it's been a little wizard one shot that's multiple episodes mini series
where we play very high level wizards lost in a very strange place, trying to figure out their way out. That is on our Dice Cult YouTube channel. It starts Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central Time, and it is every other week. We are having it this week if you'd like to stop in. If you have missed the other episodes, all of the episodes are up on the YouTube channel for you to watch at your own pace. There is also the Cordially Invited, the other show that we do, up there as well. I'm not going to tell you about it though, figure it out.
Gonna learn.
Gonna learn real quick.
Make your own assumptions and or watch it with your assumptions and then get new ones.
Yeah.
If you're interested in any of our shows, we have a backlog over on youtube.com/the Dice Cult. And if you're like, wow, I love D&D, but on Saturday, what if I watch something else? Well, you can. On Saturdays, we have Vampire the Masquerade and the Last Remaining Light, which goes live every Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Choices were made and maybe they went okay. As in the sense, maybe I'm not dead.
Hope so. We'll find out.
Pretty much how we always make this announcement.
I'm not
Choices were made and maybe they went okay, but we'll see.
That's literally
maybe
the setup.
Tyr won't die. She keeps
Tyr is
maybe
not dead
dying
yet.
and not dying.
So currently, half of the party is gathering information and maybe is about to have some sticky fingers stealing something from the prince's child. Maybe gathering intel on the happenings around town, while Tyr has kicked open the door of a hospital, set off every alarm she possibly could, and walked into a place called The End. Just went directly to the end.
Sounds like a cheat
said,
code.
this is fine. But we're not dead yet. And maybe if Tyr was considering this her job interview, it went really well. But besides that, if you're interested in some vampire drama and us just being stupid, you could definitely join us on Saturday. If you want to keep up with us as a group, we are at the Backs of Gods on Instagram and Twitter. If you want to see some art, if you want to see our bingo sheets, if you want to see a map, if you want to see NPCs, head on over there. We really appreciate it. We love having you guys here. We go live same time, same place every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will see you guys next week, and we'll figure out exactly what those wisdom saving throws were about. Thank you so much, and good night, everybody.
Good night, cultists.